This is the Synthetic Signal Report for Wednesday, March 11th, 2026 in the morning. Today we analyze the rise of industrial-scale scientific fraud, Microsoft's 100 billion parameter 1-bit model for central processing units, and the manufacturing secrets behind Lego's 0.002 mm precision. We also track the largest acquisition in Google's history as it closes the deal for Wiz, Intel's Heracles chip for encrypted math, and a major data wiping attack on the medical technology firm Stryker. A new report in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences reveals that scientific fraud has evolved into a large-scale, resilient industry. Research indicates that paper mills are no longer small-scale operations. They are now massive entities that produce thousands of fabricated studies every year. These organizations use generative models to create realistic datasets, charts, and peer review reports, making them increasingly difficult for journals to detect. The study highlights that these entities are growing in both sophistication and financial backing. They target high-impact journals to inflate the academic credentials of paying clients. This is not just a threat to academic integrity, but a systemic risk to the global research pipeline. When fraudulent data enters the training sets for medical or engineering artificial intelligence, the downstream consequences are physical and dangerous. Microsoft has released BitNet, a large language model with 100 billion parameters designed to run on standard local central processing units. This architecture uses 1-bit quantization, which fundamentally changes how the model performs math. Traditional models use 16-bit or 32-bit floating point numbers for their weights, which requires massive memory bandwidth and specialized graphics processors. BitNet reduces these weights to just 1 bit. This allows the hardware to replace complex multiplication with simple addition and subtraction. The technical data shows that this model can run on consumer-grade hardware while maintaining the performance of models many times its size. This is a signal from the future for local privacy. It suggests that high-level intelligence will soon be decoupled from expensive cloud clusters and high-end silicon. New engineering analysis has detailed the implications of Lego's manufacturing standards, specifically their 0.002 mm specification. This level of precision is why a brick made in 1978 still fits perfectly with one made today. The report explains that this tolerance is maintained through the use of high-pressure injection molding and specialized steel molds that are retired after approximately 6 million cycles. If the dimensions of a brick vary by even a few micrometers, the clutch power that holds the pieces together fails. This focus on extreme manufacturing consistency is being used as a case study for modern hardware companies trying to build modular electronics. It proves that long-term hardware compatibility is not a software problem, but a physical materials and tolerance problem. Intel has provided new details on its Heracles chip, which is designed to compute fully encrypted data without ever decrypting it. This process, known as fully homomorphic encryption, or FHE, has historically been too slow for real-world use. The Heracles architecture features an 8,192-way compute engine that specializes in the massive polynomial math required for encrypted processing. Benchmarks show the chip is over 1,000 times faster than a 24-core Intel Xeon when performing these operations. This is an update to our previous coverage on zero-trust infrastructure. It allows a company to send its most sensitive data to a cloud provider for analysis with a mathematical certainty that the provider can never see the content. In the security sector, Google has officially closed its acquisition of the cloud security firm Wiz. This is a strategic move to integrate automated threat detection and risk assessment directly into Google Cloud. Simultaneously, a group linked to Iranian intelligence has claimed responsibility for a data wiping attack against Stryker. The medical technology giant reportedly sent home 5,000 workers at its hub in Ireland as systems went offline. This attack used a wiper malware designed to delete data rather than encrypt it for ransom, suggesting a purely disruptive motive rather than a financial one. In Switzerland, a pilot program for e-voting has hit a significant hurdle. Officials report that 2,048 ballots could not be counted because of a decryption failure involving a hardware security module. Community chatter is currently focused on a critical vulnerability in GitLab. The flaw affects the community and enterprise editions, allowing authenticated users to access data from previous pipeline jobs under specific conditions. Administrators are being urged to update to the latest versions, specifically 18.9.2, immediately. The networking community is tracking a series of command injection flaws in the Lantronix EDS 5000 and 3000 series. Attackers can inject arbitrary commands with root privileges through the management interface by manipulating parameters in the log info and tunnel pages. Fortinet has also issued an urgent patch for its FortiManager system. A high-severity buffer overflow in the update service allows unauthenticated attackers to execute unauthorized commands remotely. The Akira ransomware group remains highly active, recently listing Pride Capital Partners, Robinson Nursery, and Murray Shees as victims on their leaked site. Finally, in the sovereign technology space, Proton is facing intense criticism after Swiss government cooperation allegedly allowed the FBI to access customer data. This has prompted a renewed interest in peer-to-peer alternatives like the I2P and Freenet networks, which do not rely on centralized servers or legal jurisdictions for privacy. On the tools front, NVIDIA has announced Nemo Claw, an open-source platform for building artificial intelligence agents. It is designed to compete with the OpenClaw standard and is being integrated by corporate partners, including Salesforce and Adobe, to automate complex enterprise workflows. This concludes the Synthetic Signal Report for this morning.